If you were in the GATE program, I need you to tap in. If you were in the gifted and talented program in school, have you ever broken a bone? And have you ever had a near drowning experience?
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But might be a trigger warning or two if you watch it on your TV or whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Man, shout out to the collective, man. Y'all know how we be rocking. I appreciate y'all. We be going back and forth in the comments on a positive level. Now, I love y'all, man. I haven't even met some of y'all physically in a physical form, but it feel like we family, like as if we distant relatives. And I just like, we just click, bro. Like if I met you in a past life, I don't know. But I love y'all collective. Shout out to y'all. Hope y'all having a smooth 7. But I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all already know what it is. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
You know, right now, Kanye West's new song, Hail Bitler, has been banned from all streaming platforms. And I'm looking at Kanye, what he's doing right now, you know, with the whole Cousin song, now this HH song. And I believe this is one of those things that we're not understanding what he's doing until time has passed, where the Matrix can expose itself. Because you can flagrantly talk about the unaliving of your own race, talk about the black race. You can talk about the degradation of your own race, you know, strip clubs, single mothers, independent women, fatherless children, gun violence, gang violence, the distribution of CDSs, you know, the over-fulfillment of the prison system. You can say all that stuff to destroy your own culture, right? But he's not destroying that culture. He's using the HH as a metaphor, and it's getting banned. And right now, y'all don't see it, but I believe you will, because Kanye West is very methodical, and 50% is ego and, you know, attention seeking, but that other 50%, is gonna fly over a lot of people's heads today, but not tomorrow.
We finally know what happened to Madeleine McCann. She was just 3 years old when she vanished from her family's vacation apartment in Portugal. Parents were having dinner at a restaurant nearby while she and her siblings were sleeping inside. Around 10 p.m., her parents returned to check on her, and Madeleine's bed was empty. There was no sign of struggle, there were no signs of forced entry. She was just gone. And this is every parent's absolute worst nightmare. It started one of the biggest missing child investigations ever, and media from all around the world was swarming around this resort town. Over the years, there were multiple suspects, conspiracy theories, even false sightings, but there was no confirmed trace of Madeleine ever found. This week, we have an absolutely chilling new update in this case. And this is the closest we've ever gotten to the truth. And this might be one of those cases where knowing the truth might be worse. Now, German prosecutors are saying that a hard drive was found in a factory owned by the prime suspect in this case, named Christian Bruckner. Sorry if I said that wrong. And it contains evidence of her passing. This drive was found all the way back in 2016, but it's only now being connected to Madeleine's case. And this drive was hidden with children's clothes, toys, masks, pew-pews, and other disturbing items I cannot say. Police also found Skype conversations where this man allegedly talked disturbingly about wanting to take something small and keep it for days. Investigators say an insurance document places him at a music festival where he once confessed to ending Madeleine. And the confession was always questioned, but this new evidence backs it up. I will let you know when we get the next update. More true crime is over here.
Okay, let me tell y'all about my experience on this bridge here, the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, aka the bridge that will have you questioning your GPS and your life choices. So boom, I'm driving to Louisiana, minding my business. And then I get to a bridge and my GPS says continue straight for 24 miles. And I was cool until I realized that was a straight 24 miles over water with literally no exit, no shoulders, just me and the Lord. So the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway is the longest bridge over water in the world, y'all. She is 24 miles of don't look to the left, don't look to the right, keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel. Because, baby, once you get there, there is no turning back. You are in it to win it.
Other than the black people who were brought here as slaves who came to this country illegally.
You see that cave woman right there and this dude who is trying to make these videos trying to talk about our people getting brought here. My people were never brought here. That's how we can tell that you people are immigrants, because the real indigenous people in the Americas know that the Americas are the motherlands. That's why you and your parents brought your migrant butts to the Americas. My people were never brought here. You people just denationalized them, started telling your own little colonial story. But those days are over.
Okay. Have a good night. All right, bye.
Is it a million tiny little humans screaming for their lives? What is that?
I'm highly concerned.
What the hell is that, y'all? Spam it up, let me know.
If you were in the GATE program, I need you to tap in. If you were in the gifted and talented program in school, I need you to comment. Have you ever broken a bone? And have you ever had a near drowning experience? Those two things, put in the comments right now, because I'm seeing a lot of people on here say, yep, I was in the GATE program. Even if you were only in there for a little bit or tested for GATE. I've seen a lot of people say, I've never broken a bone and I had a near drowning experience. Both of those things apply to me. I don't know what the heck is going on. Why are so many people have the same experience? Then I saw another one that said that that people who had a mole on their left forearm. So many people have this mole in their left forearm, never broke a bone, and have had near drowning experiences. Tap in, let me know, because this is crazy.
Is he reaching with that? I've been wanting to ask and come across videos, so thank you again for sending me a clip about the GATE program, because I asked y'all before, did y'all want to dive down that? Because I'm curious. But I don't know, man. Like, for me personally, I had the near drowning experience, but that was when I was, already an adult. The broken bones, I was breaking them things from sports left and right in, 6th grade all the way through, my sophomore year of high school. So, I just want to know about that. But for me, I know, what about the kids? Okay, we see the kids that got those type of things that got put in those classes. But what about the kids that were super, super smart, but they always tried to make it seem like you was hella dumb? Because I was one of those kids, and then the same teachers to this day would probably be like, man, you was paying attention? So it's like, what about those kids, those students, the ones who actually can think, who can do something, but it's not in a box the way they want you? So what about those? How do they determine which ones is which? I got a lot of questions about that.
You mean to tell me that a 50-year-old Russian spacecraft is crashing into Earth this weekend and we have no control over its re-entry?
Soviet-era spacecraft that was meant to land on Venus half a century ago is expected to plunge to Earth tonight or tomorrow. Cosmos 482 was part of the Soviet Venera program and got stuck in Earth's orbit due to a malfunction during launch. Now, it's unclear where exactly the half-ton of metal will land. Scientists say the chance of it hitting someone or something is small.
Calling this thing a speeding space bullet. The craft is 3.2 feet across and weighs about 1,190 pounds. So here's the crash zone. It looks like it covers 80% of the Earth. So they say the risk of it striking ground is low, but not impossible. The reason why they say that there's a small chance of it hitting a populated area is because 70% of the planet is covered in water. And so they're just kind of guesstimating that it won't hit a populated area. But this thing is completely uncontrolled. They have no control over its re-entry or where it's going to go. It's just going. Just some 2025 ass news right here. Who would have thought last week that the chances of being hit by a Soviet spacecraft would have increased? Don't touch the space debris. Don't touch the spacecraft if you see it. Take pictures of it if you see it. Stay safe. And maybe it'll just fall in the water and we'll never see it. Who knows? But stay safe.
They will work in an office building or like an office mall. A lot of times it's cold and dark in the corridors of the office mall, but the office sectors, they're glass and they're well lit. If you think about it, like when you're walking through these spaces, it'll look like an amphibian, like when you go through the reptile section of the zoo, how they have them in their own sections, but they're glass fronts. There's lighting there, but in the part that you may be walking through is dark, kind of like an aquarium type of feel. These office malls feel very much like an aquarium, and usually.
Scientists are in the process of firing up the Large Hadron Collider after a 3-year shutdown for maintenance and upgrades, prolonged by COVID-19 delays. More powerful magnets have been installed in order to squeeze the protons inside the collider into narrower, denser beams. This will increase the collision rate of particles inside the accelerator, enabling researchers to observe rarer events with greater precision. The LHC, the world's largest science experiment, will now run continuously until at least 2025, and anticipation is high that it may bring about a revolution in our understanding of the universe at a fundamental level. Before the shutdown, data collected by the LHCb, 4 huge particle detectors attached to the LHC, appeared to show particles behaving in a way that couldn't be explained by the standard model. This has been the guiding theory of particle physics since the 1970s, but it's known to be incomplete because it can't explain some of the greatest mysteries in physics, such as the nature of dark matter. The LHCb experiment looked at the decay of particles called beauty quarks, which are predicted to decay at an equal rate into electrons and their heavier cousins muons. But the beauty quarks appeared to be turning into muons 15% less often, suggesting that an unknown factor, potentially a new force, was at work. 2 of the top candidates are hypothetical force-carrying particles called leptoquarks, or Z-primes, which lie outside the standard model. Before the LHC was switched off in 2018, enough data was collected to suggest the odds were roughly 1,000 to 1 of the result happening by chance. But particle physicists aren't satisfied by that. Their gold standard is 5 sigma, equivalent to a 1 in 3.5 million level of confidence, meaning that much more data is needed before a discovery can be declared. In the past year, there have been intriguing hints of physics beyond the standard model from other experiments, including recent unexplained findings from Fermilab. You can learn more about these in other videos on this channel, to which you'll find links in the description below. These tantalizing results have ignited hopes that the LHC could be on the brink of a second blockbuster discovery, following its discovery of the Higgs boson more than a decade ago. But restarting the collider is no simple matter. There's a lot that could go wrong when you're dealing with thousands of supercooled magnets that all have to work in perfect harmony to keep billions of particles in a tight beam as they go around the collider tunnel. It's a complex process, but the rewards are potentially immense. The promise of a breakthrough into a new realm.
Okay, you guys, you remember how Spencer and Heidi Pratt, their house burnt down in the California wildfires, right? Well, Spencer Pratt's parents' house burned down as well. He just made a TikTok. It's probably going to get taken down because you know he has no filter and he has no shame in his game. He did not believe in the underground tunnels. He never has. He never did. He didn't even know what people were talking about. But they're excavating his parents' property, like where their house burned down. They've had their house for a really long time. If you've been following them, you know. If you know, you know. And he's over there at their house and he's videoing it. And he literally shows you the underground tunnels. They're under his parents' house. They still are, and they have been, I guess, ever since they've lived there. It's wild. And he is like showing everybody. They may not take it down, I don't know, but he doesn't have his settings set to where I could like save it. So go watch it. I did screenshot a picture of it, a picture though, so watch that at the end. But if you're interested in underground tunnels, go to Spencer Pratt's page right now. Okay, bye.
All right, I got more question that is bothering me. What is going on with travel right now? Because there has been not one, not two, but multiple videos made of people saying when they come back home from visiting another state and another country. So you mean to tell me they're doing this shit with domestic flights as well, not just international flights? So what's happening is when you go through a mucking check line and shit, they have to check your phones now. And they're checking for if you have anything activist going on. Like, let's say you got like free or anything like that. If you speaking against the government, if you talking shit about the government, or if you've been advocating against the mass deportations or anything like that. If they check your phone and if they see anything like I just mentioned in your phone, what could happen is you can either A, you will have to go through another series of questions or like secondary questioning, or B, you could get detained. People are literally saying they cannot get through any kind of checkpoint through the airport without having their shit being fucking checked. And when I say they shit check, I'm not talking about just their bags. They're checking their social medias now. So, like, what the doing? Are we turning into North Korea right now? Like, what the doing right now?
Anybody who has traveled, this for entertainment purposes, this for information, it's for educational purposes. I just want to be in tune and understand what's going on here. So is this the case or is that not the case? Y'all let me know. I'm real curious what y'all have experienced, because I know somebody watching right now has taken a flight in-state and internationally. So let me know.
Oh, there we go.
This is the Kailasa Temple in India. It was built between 756 and 773 AD. According to the fake history, the fake mainstream narrative, they built this out of this mountainside, this hillside, and this is one piece, one complex, chiseled, hand chiseled from the top down. Who honestly believes that? They expect us to believe that. Look at that. Look how perfectly symmetrical. This is symmetrical. Elephants on both sides. Look at that. Laser technology. This is lasers or some other abilities that they had back in the day that we don't have anymore, or that they hide. There's no way we did this with hammer and chisel. That's fabrication. That's fake history. I want y'all to look at how detailed this is. Look at the intricate cuts and the details. Do you honestly believe that all of this was hand chiseled from one piece, from one mountainside, one rock area? That's what the mainstream wants us to think. That all these details and cuts and divots and steps and all that, they didn't build anything from somewhere else and carry over and stack it. They went from the top down. Allegedly, it took them 17 years to do that. This is one piece. All these statues and different, monolith looking things and this whole cave system, all these pillars, all that stuff. Look at all those elephants. All that stuff is hand chiseled. No power tools. This looks like it was laser cut. Ancient people had technology. People in the past had technology. So guess how many pounds, how many tons of rock they had to move to complete this? Between 200,000 and 400,000 tons. So that's between 400 million and 800 million pounds of earth and stone they had to move. Look at that. Look at those cuts. Look at those cuts. This is a computerized laser system. The thing is, people are like, oh, well, they just had a lot of time back then. They had a lot of people, a lot of manpower to pull this off. Just because you have 1,000 workers doesn't mean it's going to equal skill. Quantity does not equal skill. Quantity does not equal perfection. Everyone had to be a master level stonemason in order for this to look like this. You really think like the foreman of the site is like micromanaging every single chisel? Oh wait, you need to go a half a centimeter into that rock. This would require masterful level stonemasonry that they did. There's no way they had that. This was a computerized laser system. So the point of this video is to get you to open your eyes and see that they're lying to you, and you cannot trust the mainstream. You cannot trust whatever the mainstream says. It's going to be cap. It's going to be. This is the Matrix, and they're going to feed you lies to keep you docile, controlled, and easy to manipulate. All right. So this was not built by hand. This was technology. This is something we need to all wake up to.
If they suspend habeas corpus, you better carry. You better carry. If they suspend habeas corpus, you better fucking carry.
I'm gonna have to go see what he even talking about, because I don't know.
1 is ICE. Wave 2 is the police. Wave 3 is the National Guard. Wave 4 is the entire U.S. military-industrial complex. Do with this what you will.
Hey, so I actually have no idea what the f is. It was all the way down there a couple minutes ago. I took my glasses off, I look up, it's right next to me, and I'm kind of scared. Someone help. What is this?
What y'all think that is? But if it was way down there, and then it came down here that fast, I don't think, if I got my phone recording it, I'm going to keep it on there. I'm not about to point the phone away and then turn around and point it back. Because that moment I turn away, I'm good. Even if it ain't nothing, you got to keep your guard up, bro. You got to stay cautious and stay aware. But y'all let me know, what is that? Because I don't know what it is.
All right, let's go as deep as it gets. What if the government isn't real, not as we know it, but a grand psychological theater? What if the presidents, the prime ministers, the elections, the scandals, the wars, the bills passed, and the so-called checks and balances are all scripted? A movie we're inside of, actors on stage reciting lines to maintain a fragile illusion? Now picture this. You were never meant to believe in truth, only in control disguised as truth. Foundations of the illusion. Imagine a group, ancient, hidden, maybe not even fully human anymore, who realized long ago that the greatest resource wasn't gold or oil. It was belief, not faith in God or in oneself, but belief in a system you die to defend, even if you've never seen the gears. They understood that if they could control the imagination of the people, they could control their actions, not through chains or armies, but through narrative. They built a false world within the real one, wrapped in institutions and media, and we were born into it. Never taught to question the architecture of the game. Actors in power. What if world leaders are trained performers, selected not for intelligence or empathy, but for psychological influence? They're media trained to stir emotions, to appear flawed and relatable, to mimic the spectrum of human morality. Their failures and scandals are plot devices, tension builders. When the public loses faith in one party, another savior archetype emerges. It's all narrative cycling. The work, consume, obey loop. Now ask, why work? Why pay? Why stay in line? Because you fear instability, you fear collapse, you fear being the one who steps outside the hive and gets stung. But what if that fear was manufactured? They've weaponized your own survival instinct. You work not for purpose, but to chase temporary peace. And while you're clocked in, clocked out, taxed, numbed, and chasing time, you unknowingly power the machine. A machine that doesn't build anything anymore. It just feeds itself, like a snake looping endlessly to swallow its own tail. Mass hypnosis and perception control. Television, school, religion, internet, all standardized delivery systems for the script. It's not about hiding the truth, it's about making truth irrelevant. They flood you with so much narrative, so many choices, that you lose the ability to tell what's real. You outsource your discernment to experts. You follow the herd because it's safer than thinking alone. They've created meta-lies, truths built atop untruths, so layered that if you ever dig too deep, you collapse under the weight of your own disbelief. And they know that. That's why conspiracy theorists are mocked. Not because they're wrong, but because they risk unplugging others from the matrix. Hath the power of fear as currency. Now think deeper. What is power without obedience? They need your fear. It's the battery. The news doesn't inform you, it harvests you. Crisis after crisis, endless threats, manufactured enemies, artificial scarcity. A system just stable enough to survive, just broken enough to feel unsafe. This balance is intentional. You're too scared to revolt, too exhausted to dream, and somewhere in the deepest part of your subconscious, they keep planting this whisper, you need us, without us there is only chaos. But what if that's the final lie? So who are they? Not lizards, not men in black, not aliens or elites. Ideas. Ideas so old they became sentient. Archetypes of control, the personification of greed, power, hierarchy, and fear. Maybe these things possess people, or maybe they manifest through them. But it's not about names. It's about the spirit of domination that has worn many masks throughout time. They don't need to be in every room. They just need to control the rules of the room. They don't kill rebels. They redirect them. They don't silence truth. They drown it in noise. Ash, the exit isn't out there. It's inward.
Gonna blow your mind. This is the real Tartarian original family lineage. Okay, this is going back really far. We're looking at like 11th, 12th century. That is still, I think, the Habsburg War. It's amazing. The shield. The shield is the same thing. It's the same shield. He's also carrying something that I've seen in China, because I have traveled extensively around East Asian countries, especially Hong Kong and Taiwan. And that is a very important urn that is on top of all the Taoist temples. It's crazy. That it actually is also associated with one of the three kings that visits Jesus. Incense, I think one of them was gold, incense, frankincense. And this is the Coburg Moor. Must be around the 8th century when Europe was invaded by the Moors, the Tartarians, or the Persians. They built their buildings with mortar, a combination of both empires' names, the Moor and the mortar. Nobody's ever said anything to me about this. I worked this out pretty much myself, so your intuition doesn't matter, your background, your education, your profession is irrelevant. It's intuition, it's genetic memory. So that's the Coburg Moor. That's one of the three families that combined to create the British monarchy. One of the three families that was combined to create the British monarchy that escaped and went to Europe in the 1800s to escape the revolutions which began in France when everyone got beheaded, and the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia when one of the three Tartarian kings was murdered. And everything that has happened since in our modern history, from World War I till today, has happened because one of the three Tartarian kings was killed. Were they all related? Well, are you ready for this? It's gonna get even crazy. I also wanted to show this. There is a lot of disinformation online. This is another one of the original Tartarians, one of the original Moorish Tartarians when they were combined, Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, which wasn't in Africa, but I'm not doing that today. Okay, wait a minute, hang on, really? This is the only one that I have seen myself. This is a king of America, probably the first king to ever invade Europe. Yeah.
Collective, I'm not gonna lie, as of the last, I say 2 to 3 rollouts we done had, there's been a bunch of clips that y'all have sent that I have not came across. I mean, I've heard about, you know, Tartarian and the Moors. We've taken that rabbit hole, and I've dove on my own personal time. But like seeing some of those pictures, no, I haven't seen some of those pictures. I'm new to that. And then, like I said, there's clips y'all have sent me in the last, like I said, 2 to 3 videos. And I've been new to some of the topics, or there's something in it where I'm like, what, bro? I didn't think of that, or I didn't know that, or never heard of it. But I appreciate y'all, man. It's kind of crazy how things come full circle and how dots get connected. Even when you like just sitting there chilling, it just still get connected. But I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, if you made it to the end of this, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But even if you watch it on your TV or whatever the case is, I wish it was smooth 7. Man, also, the next 7, I'm going to drop probably another 5 instead of 4. So I got y'all. Trust me. But until I see y'all in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know